Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be revealing a 10 card PSA Regular Return fresh from the PSA oven. So what's special about this sub is that every card inside features a fire Pokemon from Kanto or Johto region like Charmander, Ninetales, Arcanine, Blaine. Oh wait, Blaine's not a Pokemon. Okay, back to this return. I'll be showing the pre-grading of the cards and my prediction beforehand. And if you're new to this channel, my name is PokeGen, and I'll appreciate if you smash that like and subscribe button. Please enjoy. The first card we have here is a Shadowless Ninetales. Condition wise, it's pretty good, and there's no scratches on the front as far as I can see. As for the back, there's some minor whitenings on the edges. I think this is a PSA9. The second card is the Unlimited Ninetales. I do not see any scratches on the front. The back looks pretty clean. He has a chance for a 10, but I'll be conservative and predict a 9 for this. The next card is the Neo Genesis Typhlosion number 17, so this is not the number 18 counterpart. The front sadly has a print line over here. I'm not going to take it out from the sleeve. So the back has some whitening on the corner. As for the other edges, it looks pretty clean. I think this is going to get a 9. The next card is the Blaine Arcanine from Gym Challenge. So this is the unlimited version, not the first edition. The back looks very clean, no whitening on the corners or edges. As for the front, I do not see any scratches. My prediction for this, maybe a 9 with a chance for a 10. The next card is the first edition, New Revelation 00. This card looks pretty clean on the front, well centered. As for the back, there are some minor whitening on the top and bottom corner, and also a whitening on the edge over here. I think this might get a chance for PSA 9, but my prediction is at 8 for this. Now, next card, we have the New Revelation First Edition Entei. The back looks pretty okay, no whitening on the corners or edges. The front looks pretty clean as well. However, there is a slight defect over here, so I'm hoping PSA doesn't catch this. If they do, I think they will dock this to an 8 or 9. So my prediction for this is, I'll be conservative. I'll predict as an 8 for this. Now the next card is the first edition base set Charmander. So to anyone out there who's collecting Charizards, so this is actually considered a rookie card for the base set. The back looks pretty clean, no whitening on corners or edges. The front, unfortunately, is not well centered. It's pretty heavy on the bottom and the right, so I predict this is a 9. The second card over here is the same card. As for this, it is better in terms of centering compared to the previous one, but the bottom is still slightly heavy. The bottom, for the back, there is a minor whitening over at the edge here. The corners look pretty okay. So because of these two defects, I'm predicting a 9 as well. Now the last two cards that I'll be sending. This is the Japanese base set Charizard. It is not the no rarity error, so this has the rarity symbol over here, as you can see. The front looks very clean, well centered. The back, no whitening on the edges, but there is a whitening spot over at the bottom corner. So I'm not sure how much PSA is going to deduct on for this. I'm going to predict a 9 for this. The last card is the base 2 Charizard. I actually have very high hopes for this card, and the only flaws that I can see are the silvering on the front. As for the back, I do not see any flaws with the corners. Edges, there is a one white spot over here. I'm going to predict this as a 9 with an outside chance of a 10. Again, I'll be conservative and I'll predict this as a 9. Okay, so what we have here is the PSA return from a regular sub. So there's actually a label on the bottom which says they have received it on the 31st of March, and it was due on the 28th of April. So at the time of recording today, which is the 15th of April, it actually took about 2 weeks, shipping and grading included. I actually received this yesterday, which was on the 14th of April. So let us not wait, and we have the 10 slabs returned from the grading itself. We'll look at the first card. This is the Shadowless Ninetales from base set, and as I predicted, I think this is a 10. So there's actually some whitening on the top edge, which is correct. The second card over here is the Unlimited Ninetales, and this got a PSA 8 instead of the 9 that I predicted, which is a little bit strange because I thought this card was in a better condition than the first one. Look at the third card. This is the Neo Genesis Unlimited Typhlosion PSA 7. So it's a pretty good card overall, and there's some whitening over here. I'm not sure if they actually downgraded this to a 7 due to this whitening. As per every Neo Genesis releases, there's always the print line on the holo, so this is actually a very tough card to grade. Now we'll look at the fourth card here. This is the Blaine Soccer 9 PSA 8, a very good return. I think I missed some of the scratches on the holo. I thought this was going to be a 9, because of this it dropped to an 8. And the next one is the New Revelation 00 First Edition at a PSA 9. Gorgeous looking card overall. Some whitening on the edge, which I think it downgraded to a 9, and on the corners as well. So New Revelation, as for every new set, they always have print lines, but fortunately there isn't any print line on this, so it got a 9. Now let's look at the next card. This is the New Revelation Entei at the PSA 9. Very good grade as well. And the only flaw, as I have mentioned in my pre-grading, is the scratch over here. Now the next one. This is the first edition base set Charmander. So this is the first edition Shadowless base set in English. I do not know why this card got a 6. So when I got this card back, I actually looked through a very strong light. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. It's off center, that's one, but there's no whitening. I was looking for dents on the card, but I could not find any dents at all. This is actually the first 6 of the submission. So Charmander here actually took a hit from the other guys. Now we look at we're left with 3 cards over here. Now this is the Charmander at a PSA 9. Very good card, very clean overall. There's actually 2 flaws. One is the centering at the bottom and the whitening on the edge. It's actually a tiny dot, as you guys can see over here. I'll show this card at the last. And this was the card that I mentioned previously in my pre-grading that I have high hopes for. And let's see. We have a Min 9 Charizard from base set 2. So overall, this card is very clean overall. Centering is almost perfect. We have clean corners. Edges wise, there's a dot at the bottom. And as for surface, I'm not sure if actually there are some scratches. When I set it in, I do not remember seeing scratches, but it probably got scratched during shipping, or maybe the grader pulled it out of the sleeve and caused it. If not for the scratch, I think it has a good chance of getting a 10. but happy with my overall. Now this is the last card. Of course, this is a Japanese pack, and it's different from the other WotC cards that I have submitted. And so I'm going to reveal the grades. We have a Jamin 10 Japanese basic Charizard. So this is the Japanese equivalent of the base set, and for comparison, the English WotC released their the English WotC released their cards on 1999, whereas in Japan they released it on 1996. So there's a few years gap, and of course this is actually one of the older releases. This is actually with the rarity symbol over here, so this is not the other card with the no rarity symbol. Of course, the other version, some also call it an error version or the first edition, is worth much more. And let's look at this card. It has perfect centering, perfect surface, corners are almost perfect. Actually, when I send it in, I noticed there's a minor dot, but it's actually on the edge itself. It's on the bottom. This is overall a very clean card, and a PSA 10. Okay guys, so here's now the giveaway for one of the other cards in my collection. So what I have here, this is another Charizard, but from the 20th anniversary CP6. As you can see, this on my left is actually a reprint of the original Charizard back in 1996. The artwork is exactly the same by the artist Mitsuhiro Arita, and this is actually a first edition of the CP6 release. So there isn't actually much difference, as you can see, between the 9 and the 10, and for this PSA 9 we can actually see that PSA actually is much harsher nowadays. The centering isn't perfect, but from what I can tell, this is actually within the 60-40 ratio. So what I can do is I can actually measure it on camera over here. I just have to make sure they align properly. And on the left, we see that the number is a 3. On the right, there's a dotted line which is showing as 2. Top is solid line at number 3. And on the bottom, hold on, let me check. Where the top is between 2 to 3 and the bottom is around the dotted line, which is the solid line, which is 3. So this actually qualifies 60-40 ratio, and in the olden times I believe this actually stands a chance to be a 10, but overall this is a min card. There's no scratches, whitening or anything. So I'll be giving this away, and what you have to do to enter is to like and subscribe this video and let me know in the comments which is your favorite Kanto Pokemon or Kanto Fire type Pokemon. Yeah, just don't write Blade in the comments because Blade is not a Pokemon. So I'll be picking the winner from the comments 5 days after uploading this video, and I will write in the comments section. So make sure you hit the notification bell in YouTube to get notified of the winner. Okay, and also for the record, I have submitted close to 50 cards to PSA since 2021. I do not recall the exact numbers, but the statistics will be shown in the screen over here. And as you guys can see, PSA 10 is really tough to get, and this is my first 10 over here. I'll end off the video now with this card and the recently purchased holder, and that will be all.